prophet, and I am a prophet who cares about the people and hopes I can make a difference in all of your lives. You people will die of the Assyrian nation rising and killing and treating you unmercifully, but there is still hope for you. You can still change your lives, just like my wife Gomer did. She was unfaithful and rude to me, but when the other man left her, I still gave her a place to stay and food. Because I did this act of niceness and kindness, she repented, and that is something that all of you should do. Wear sackcloths and give everything you have to the poor. God will forgive you and forget all the sins you have committed, for that is what He wants you to do to other people. When I first started preaching, the nation was in a terrible place. The terrible king, Jeroboam, was ruling God's people. Because of his terrible ruling, the people were doing whatever they pleased, and that is why God sent me to them. The people were committing adultery, worshiping fake gods, and there was much theft and murder. He sends us prophets when things are out of balance in the world, which is exactly what they were when I arrived. When I first started preaching, I mostly talked about judgment and chastisement. Of course, the people didn't listen to me, because, people don't listen when you first talk to them. But then I gave them punishments. Of course, the people still didn't listen to me. When the people started to think my preaching was fake, they talked about me behind my back, and that brought my confidence down. I was starting to doubt myself as being a prophet. But then, that is when I married Gomer. God said our relationship was like Him with His people, the Israelites. Our story is showing God's forgiveness, faithfulness, and obedience. God asked Gomer and I to name our 3 children Jezreel because the soon-to-be king had murdered many people there. Our second child was named Unloved because God couldn't show love to His people anymore after all the sins they committed. And our last child was named Not My People to show that the Israelites no longer belonged to God. There was a continuous cycle between them and God. First, the Israelites would disobey. Then God would punish them, and finally the Israelites would beg for forgiveness, and God would grant it to them. God has always forgiven sin. This cycle happens all the time, and it is very unfortunate. I predict that it will keep happening long after I die. I think that God understands that we all have to be extremely obedient in preaching and other things. I forgive everyone who has sinned against me, and I have also done all the things God wants me to do in being obedient. God's values are kindness, justice, and righteousness, and I strive to give all of God's people these qualities. I love God, and I hope that you all can understand what I'm preaching about Him. Please follow God and stop committing sin.